United Nations Security Council has held an emergency meeting on the ongoing Israel-Hamas war. The meeting, it was requested by the United Arab Emirates, this as the Arab representative of the UNSC seeks a binding resolution for a humanitarian pause to the ongoing Gaza conflict. Now, the meeting called by the United Arab Emirates is the fifth meeting of the Council to address the situation since the militant group Hamas attacked Israel on the 7th of October.
Last Friday, 121 countries, representing an overwhelming majority of the world, issued an unambiguous call for an immediate, durable and sustained humanitarian truce in Gaza. They stood up for the humanitarian imperative, for human rights, for international law, and most importantly, for the self-evident truth that Palestinian life is precious, equal, and deserving of the full protection of the law. We have heard many say that the 2.2 million Palestinians in Gaza are not Hamas, that this is not a war against them. And while these are welcome words, it is time that action reflected them.
Interestingly, the United Nations General Assembly, it's already overwhelmingly voted for a humanitarian pause, but the UNGA does not have the power to pass binding resolutions. The United Nations Security Council has that authority. Moreover, according to the United Nations, more than one border crossing is needed to deliver aid to the besieged Gaza Strip. And the Kerem Shalom controlled by Israel, it's the only one that is equipped to take enough trucks. 8 trucks have been trickling into Gaza from Egypt over the past week via the Rafah crossing, the main crossing that does not border Israel. It's become the main point of aid delivery since Israel imposed a total siege of the enclave.
UN officials have repeatedly said that this was insufficient for the scale of needs of Gaza's civilian population of about 2.3 million people, where more than 1 million of them have been made homeless by Israel's bombardments.
More than one entry point into Gaza is indispensable if we are to make a difference. Kerem Shalom between Israel and Gaza is the only crossing equipped to rapidly process a sufficiently large number of trucks.
And for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report from New York. Listen in.
The war of words continued here at the United Nations Security Council on Monday after an emergency meeting was requested by the United Arab Emirates to be briefed on the humanitarian situation in Gaza as Israel's ground offensive continues in the Palestinian enclave. And while representatives from UN humanitarian agencies brief member states on the dire situation of residents in Gaza, member states like the United States and Russia traded barbs, notably after Russia accused the United States of fanning the flames of war in the Middle East. Meanwhile, some Arab countries called for a ceasefire. Israel made clear that a ceasefire would tie Israel's hands as well as keep Hamas rule in Gaza as well, something the Israeli delegation, notably the ambassador, said is unacceptable at this point in time. Also, the United States and Israel furious that council members can't agree to condemn Hamas for the October 7th attack against Israel. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.